This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Well, every year around 600 people have some sort of traumatic brain injury in the Bahamas.
And the number of incidents in 2012 was 47% higher than in 1997.
Well, the average cost for treatment of patients with traumatic brain injuries estimated at $7.5 million.
And considering this, Janaea Noel Ferguson tells us tonight that there are plans for an international rehabilitation center to be built in the Bahamas to improve the country's standing on the medical tourism market.
DeMont Mitchell suffered a traumatic brain injury due to a car accident in 2012, which interrupted his sporting goals.
I can't think as fast, and due to the surgery that I underwent, I have been suspended from playing soccer for 2 years as requested by my doctor.
His ordeal inspired well-known neurosurgeon Dr. Magnus Ekadede and DeMont's father, Matthew Mitchell, to launch the Mitchell Ekadede Brain Injury Foundation to advocate brain injury awareness, prevention, and treatment.
We aspire that in a period of 10 years, raise up to 50 million. It might be too much, but that's what our goal is. And that is why we tried our best to incorporate a sister foundation, Mitchell Ekadede Corp in the United States, which is tax exempted.
You've probably got around 100,000 people that have high blood pressure, and all of them are at risk on any given day, because a stroke is a ticking time bomb. You can have a stroke and you suffer brain injury, and in many cases, you have people that are profoundly disabled as a result of strokes, and that's simply not a position that you want to be in.
Co-chair Tommy Turnquest maintains raising awareness is vital.
There are sufficient examples of traumatic brain injury that should encourage us to practice these safe practices so that we do not endure such a catastrophic event.
Now, Dr. Magnus Ekadede stressed that the Bahamas simply does not have the resources needed for rehabilitation. He says the project they're working on can bolster the country as a medical tourism mecca going forward.
If we have such superb rehab, superb treatment, I mean, people gonna come from Miami down here. Europeans gonna come here. By the way, I have seen people from Miami just to come to see me for surgery.
And for DeMont, who has had to spend thousands of dollars abroad for rehab, this foundation will give those less fortunate a fighting chance.
I've had a lot of different symptoms. Some of them were brain injury, bleeding and swelling, forgetfulness, and seizures.
People from Benstown, people from East Street, people from who cannot afford that level of rehab, we need to give it to them here. Okay? That is the aim of this foundation.
Janaea Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
Well, accusations of racism at a local school in the capital has a mother furious and hoping that by shedding light on several matters, government will intervene. Clint Watson is on the story tonight as the mother of two was motivated to go public with her alleged encounters after she saw international headlines surrounding Los Angeles Clippers owner Donald Sterling and the repercussions he faced as a result of racist comments.
After 4 separate occasions of alleged racism, Chavez Kassar, a mother of a 6-year-old son and a 4-year-old daughter attending the Tamberley School, a private multicultural school in Sandyport, says she has reached her breaking point. On more than one occasion, racial slurs were allegedly made by other students to her kids. Each time the matter was reported to the principal.
He said to me that a little boy made a statement towards him saying that no brown kids are allowed to play soccer on the soccer field.
The incident reportedly happened a second time. Kassar says she and her husband again met with the principal, who admitted that while she didn't tolerate racism, there was no written policy on it.
It should not be where my children, as natives to this country, should be made to feel uncomfortable in the skin that they're in.
Chavez said in quest for answers, she also inquired why the small ratio of black Bahamian teachers.
She said that for the fees that parents pay to send their kids to her school, parents aren't paying for their kids to learn to speak Wolf Road English.
This disturbed mother, who remembers her grandmother, the late Diana Thompson, as a freedom fighter, says in 2014 to seek just recourse from the principal for what she alleges her kids experience and not get it is unacceptable.
Her solution was, if we're unhappy with the way the school is being ran, to simply move our kids. So for my grandmother, the late Diana Thompson, I'm sure if she was alive, this would be heart-wrenching. And it's heart-wrenching for me because I know the sacrifices she made and a lot of other persons made in this country to erase the hurt of racism.
The kids are still attending the school, but Chavez says by the end of the term they expect to move them. ZNS News visited the school in Sandy Port. However, our presence there didn't sit well with the owner of the school and husband of the principal, who met us outside of the office the second we pulled up.
I'm here. But you don't even know why I'm here. I don't care. I don't even care what you want. Is that how you deal with the public, sir? You've not even given me the respect to ask me what is my inquiry. You just simply tell me, I'm here to find out some information from the principal. And you're telling me that you're not here to do interviews? I don't understand that. I don't understand. I'm going to close the door in my face too? I'm surprised. Now again, to make the record clear, we want you to understand that we did make every attempt professionally to reach out to the school for their comments. However, we were unsuccessful. Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
The Bright Journey project between the Bahamas and the People's Republic of China is being hailed a resounding success. That joint initiative involved the surgical removal of cataracts in over 100 patients free of charge. Dr. Gomez says 50 men and 51 women from more than 5 family islands got the gift of sight.
Like the old days, the patients spent 2 nights in hospital following their cataract removal. The Chinese government provided equipment, instruments, medical supplies, and pharmaceuticals required for the project with a value of some $570,000. Mr. Speaker, the Chinese teams, like my teams, also spared no effort in this venture. I am happy to inform this Honorable House that Bright Journey project was a resounding success. The project actually ended yesterday with the official handing over ceremony for the equipment that was brought from China for the project and with the intent of donating them to the hospital.
Convicted murderer George Williams will have to wait a little longer to learn his fate after a jury convicted him earlier for killing 2 men on Grand Bahama. The Grand Bahama resident appeared in court this morning to be sentenced by Justice Roy Jones. However, a psychiatric report was not ready. He will now return to court on June 18th. A jury convicted Williams last December for killing Terrell Mingo and Andy Weeks back on April 23, 2008. Prosecutors indicated that there was an argument over a Rolex watch Mingo had in his possession, and he and Williams went to discuss the matter when a single shot was heard. Now, Mingo was later found in the backyard with a gunshot wound to the head. Weeks was also killed during the incident. Williams came to Nassau, where he was arrested the following day. Attorney Jaira Mangra is representing him in the case. Well, that does it for this segment of the news. Don't go away. There's more in a moment.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly. The government will be seeking additional funding to complete the exterior for the Bahamas Agricultural and Marine Institute in Andros. The work will include upgrades to packing houses on the island that tie into the project. The project's chief architect, Livingston Forbes, provides this update.
There are going to be quite a few more $1 million the government would need to spend in order to get this up to the standard that would be required, so that the students can, perform and can go to school in a very comfortable environment.
In other business news, Palm Key is reporting millions in sales, which developers believe is a sign of economic recovery. For the past 2 months, there has been a dramatic jump in sales of its beachfront townhomes. The first 2 phases of its condominiums were oversubscribed. The nearly 70-acre community on New Providence's southeast coast has a 194-slip marina, pools, tennis court, and a Billfish Grill restaurant. According to a development executive, this is a sign of greater consumer confidence and a belief in a welcome economic recovery. And in international news, Japanese electronics giant Sony forecasts it will remain unprofitable until 2015 after a restructuring saw it exit the personal computer business. The company said it expects a net loss of 50 billion yen this coming financial year. It also swung to a loss of 125 billion yen for the 12 months up to March 2014. This has been your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm C.S. Scatterly.